Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. This is part 3 of AMT's Star Wars Shadow of the Empire Virago. In this part I'm going to be putting the main kit together, so the body and the wings and things like that. So let's jump into it and see how well I get on. The first thing I have to do is connect these two parts. The bar that goes down the side is the holding bar for the wing, and it does have to go on this angle. And if you remember in part 2 I said there is our left and right, so make sure that you are putting the proper unit on. The silver block unit there that I'm pointing to with the hole, that's the part that gets connected to the main hull, and the hole has to face towards the actual hull itself. There's a little ratchet system for the wings. First of all, I have to place this bar in, then the ratchet part here. Now the bar is a little trough inside with an end stop right in the middle to stop the ratchet plate moving any further. But that has to butt up right up against it before everything's connected. Once that's on, it's time to put the engines in. Now, it's a fairly simple process, this. There's a couple of sidewalls that go on as well. You may have to jiggle it around a little bit for everything to fit. There won't be any gapping issues, well, there wasn't with me. But it's a strange shape to get it fitted, especially when the top half of the hull goes on. So don't wait until this dries 100%. Wait until it's manuable and the parts won't fall off, but you can still move them around. And it's the same with the sidewalls as well. But when they go on, they'll take a little bit of lining up just to get everything how it should be. But again, don't wait until it's completely dry, because you may have to move them around. Now, if you want, you can actually place these side panels on once the top hull's in place, but the instructions say do it in that stage, so that's what I did. Now, this is the top half of the fuselage, and it's made up the exact same way as the bottom half. The only difference is the side panels won't go on because they're already on in the bottom half. It's essential as well to clean the bar here, so there's no burrs or anything stopping the movement. To fit the top of the hull, put it in from the engine first, because it goes under a little lip. And it should just slide in, then push down the front. Then look at your sidewalls and line them up accordingly. Don't worry so much about the two ratchets meeting at this point. There is enough room in it so that you can manoeuvre them in place. On the forward section, I'm just placing a little bit of masking tape around the lip of this and the hard edge to paint in Revel Agricolor OA Matte Black. That's on the inner panels just below my thumb. It was a little bit of an awkward shape, so I didn't want to risk freehand painting on this, hence why I used the masking tape. And once it was dry, I simply removed the masking tape, and then you can see the silver bar going down the front with the black background inside. So now it's onto the stand. It's time to make this up, and it is very simple, just the two halves placed together. You will need clamps to get this in position, just because of the shape of it. It does fit quite well, but like with the hull and the wings, mainly, it does have a tendency to creep out of position, so just be aware of that when you're putting on your clamps. I'm using Revel Agricolor 90 Silver, and this is for the nameplate, so I'm just lightly going over the ridged areas of the wording first of all, and then I will just cut in with the black some of the finer detail. This takes a little while to do, but it is worth doing. Obviously you can do it different colours, but I think the silver and black looks best. I'm also applying the silver to the inlay areas of the stand. The central part of the stand, there's an inlay part there as well. I was going to paint that red, but it takes so many coats on the black background, I decided just to leave it black. But then in the end I decided to paint it with the silver just to give it the contrast. I think it possibly would have looked better in the red, but as I said, it just would have taken too many coats on this part for the red to shine through and be vibrant. Assembly this stand is quite easy. First of all, the plaque goes on. There is a large location part for the stand to sit in. It has its own little housing area at the back of it for it to stand out proudly. And once it was dry, it was just a case of putting the upright in the housing there. And it just sits in there. Only a little bit of cement is required, and it's a nice tight fit. To connect the wings is relatively simple. I've placed a little bit of cement on the tip of the movement bar, and then the wing just gets pushed onto it. And that's all there is placing the wing on. Just remember, I put them the right way up, so the wing sort of curves, and you have to put the outer edge of the curve on the outside. When it curves inwards, that goes on the inside. So it's just a little tiny bit of glue. You can either do this right on the edge and inside, or you can place it on the actual end of the bar itself. As long as you don't get any cement near where it connects to the hull, you'll be okay. Now, this will take a little bit of time to set as well, so just bear that in mind, and do not try to move the wings until it's fully set either. So just one more set of wings to go on. I was just zoomed up the camera so you can get a better view of it going on, but as you can see, it just gets pushed in and into position. It's not too bad either. You can just hold it with your hands for a few minutes until it sets, but don't. I would leave it a good couple of hours before you actually try to move the wings, so that you know it's completely welded inside. You don't even have to put too much pressure on it either. It's just enough to hold it. As I said, putting too much pressure on it can actually bend them out of shape. And there you can see the weapons moving back and forth. Mine are a little bit slack. I would have liked them a little bit tighter, but as you tip the model, it will move. The guns will move, which is a shame. Now, the front part. Now, this doesn't get cemented at all. This just gets pushed in. Now, the reason for that is in case the ratchets come apart and just shift out of position. That way, you can easily manoeuvre them back in position. It's a good tight fit to place this in. But as I said, I will just push in, and that will actually bring the main build to an end. All I have to do now is place it on the stand. But again, don't be tempted to place it on the stand until the wings are completely dry and everything is in position, because obviously you don't want it to realign itself once it's on the stand. But there you can see the wings moving now. One wing was a bit loose. I'll have to tighten that up, and to do that, I'll just put a little slither of a cocktail stick in there, or a matchstick, and then that'll tighten it up. You won't even notice it. So, as I put this stand on, why don't you go and check out the channel for the rest of my videos. If you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. That way, you'll be kept up to date with all my builds. Hit that like button. Don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.